The feminization of men through porn. Porn destroys your masculinity. I'm not talking about toxic masculinity. I'm talking about worthwhile masculinity. Think about a man driven by purpose, a man who is poised and calm and composed, that has a mission, a purpose in this life, that is able to be disciplined when it needs to, that is able to put aside short term gratification for long term benefits, that is able to pursue consistently an endeavor repeatedly until he succeeds, that is able to go through failure and dust himself up and start again. That is for me the true essence of masculinity. Purpose, mission, vision, patience, and spiritually inclined. For those who have read King Warrior Magician Lover, the lover has a shadow, and that shadow is addicted lover. And when you're addicted lover, you fall into the realm of loving everything that is feminine, which is the movement, the scenery, the weather, the warmth, sex, and food. But when you're an addicted lover, you are over consuming all those stuff. And in that case, we'll be talking about porn. So if you are consuming porn, you are an addicted lover. You can't get enough porn. It means that if you're an addicted lover, you cannot be masculine because you have too strong of a shadow when it comes to that archetypes of the lover. So we live in a society of feminine men, not only because of feminism, of the propaganda against men, of or whatever they say about men. I'm talking simply put porn. You consume without thinking. You have an urge to consume. When a man is not able to have a certain level of control over himself, he's weak. He's weak and docile. A legion of feminine men is easier to control and to be made complacent. Why? Because a man that is weak to the flesh, the screen, or porn is a slave to pleasure. And that, simply put, is the case for a man who's addicted to porn. And again, I've been there, so I'm not judging, and I'm not judging those of you who are addicted. But you have to understand that in order for you to be a truly more masculine man, you have to let go of porn. Now, I'm telling you, in my case, three things I'm most proud of in my life. The first thing is quitting alcohol. When I quit 17 years ago, it was one of the best moments of my life, and I'm reaping the benefits every day. The second thing is more recent, quitting porn. It's not something you will put on a resume. I wish it would, because it's something all men should be proud of. Honestly, I'm not joking. The greatest benefit of quitting porn is actually quitting porn. You don't need all the other benefits. Because if you ask someone who's a drug addict or an alcoholic, they will all tell you the same thing. Not having that drug, not having that alcohol. Same for porn. To not be shackled by porn. To quit porn is so amazing. And I want this for all of you. But I digress. So when you let those short-term momentary pleasures take over your life, over what you could build with consistency over time, it's ridiculous. It's making us weak and leading a generation of men to be hopeless. An addicted lover is prone to depression, anxiety, frustration, and all of this stuff can lead to drugs, alcohol, and suicide, and all that bad stuff. So it's not like you can get away with just being an addicted lover. So you can't win while you're addicted to pleasure. Yes, we all heard of people who make it to the top, but do you want to go to the top while being this kind of person? Do you want all your relationships to suffer? and let go of most of your potential because you prefer watching porn. Obviously, you don't. And it's not a simple thing to quit because it's not necessarily considered an addiction. I'll tell you it is. It's not doing yourself any good. Porn creates a state of apathy in your life. Apathy is a lack of inspiration and motivation. Now, you are just being like a zombie. You're not motivated for anything, not inspired to do anything in your life and to change and be a better version of yourself. We have 5 types of dopamine receptor, and you have the D2 dopamine receptors. And because you overflow while watching porn, those dopamine receptor with cheap dopamine, those D2 receptors will decrease and not be as receptive. So, in other words, you will not have that much pleasure. And by overflowing those dopamine receptors and restraining them, you will not be able to enjoy the little things of life. So, you won't have the same pleasure even while watching porn over time. And because you don't have that same pleasure while watching porn, you have even less pleasure on your day-to-day small things, which create apathy, sadness, frustration, and inability to focus. So I'm telling you guys, you can't win in this life if you're addicted to pleasure. And porn might seem like a pleasurable activity, and it is to a certain extent, but it does not give you any fulfillment over time, and it can ruin your life and relationship. Think about it. Thank you for listening. I'm here to help those of you who want to quit porn. Links are in the description box below. Thank you so much, and see you.